Volume.com is a free platform with live stream performances, concert broadcasts, and a video archive that includes performances by Brothers Osborne, Stone Temple Pilots, Dierks Bentley, Weezer, and more. No, it's not like that. I like that. Oh, look at that. I just broke the string. All right, hey there, it is Shred with Shifty time, and today is in fact the last episode of season 1. I know I said that last week, but I was wrong because I didn't realize that we were going to get an interview with Richie Sambora, which is amazing. You're going to love it. So here we are. This is really the last episode of season 1. There is going to be a season 2 coming before too long, but we're going to take a little bit of a break. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that's tuned in and watched, and everybody that learned the solos and posted them, and all you fun people in the comments section on YouTube with your strong opinions about exactly what I'm supposed to know or not know about guitar and all that fun. So it's been fun. It's been a good time, and for real, in all sincerity, thank you for tuning in. And I've loved every minute of it. Make sure you go to volume.com/shifty to get ad-free versions of the show and exclusive content. And don't forget, go to chrisshiflettmusic.com, buy concert tickets and merch and God knows what. And follow us on social media. There is a Shred with Shifty Instagram account, and we'll list all my social media accounts and blah, 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 blah. It's been great. We love you. Let's get to today's interview. All right. Now, you know, here at Shred with Shifty, I would like to think that we listen to the fans. We listen to the people. The people have spoken, and we hear you. I give you Richie Sambora, legend, on Shred with Shifty. Boom. Yeah, Richie, what's happening, brother?
What's going on, man? Good to see you again.
Absolutely, man. How you been?
I've been great, man. You know, recording and doing the same stuff I always did, but now I'm in my mother's basement now.
Yeah.
Check this out, man. I am subterranean.
Is that where it all began?
I was just listening to you guys' version. I just love that. I love it, right? Check it out. Hold on. I'll turn it around so you guys can see what's going on. I am subterranean.
Yeah.
Right? So what happened was, first of all, this house has kind of cool significance to me because when I was a kid, one of my partners that I was a club owner with when I was like 19 and a half, this was his house. He used to let me stay here, which was like insane because I'm on a river. I'll show you if you want later. But when I started to get some dosh, you know, I bought this for my mom and dad. They remodeled it and all that stuff, you know. And so I stay here now. So what happened was my mom had took a spill not too long ago. She's 88, you know, and she's my friend. And I was doing that benefit in Lanai with Alice Cooper and Steven Tyler and all my friends, Hager and, you know, Bob Rock and a bunch of people. And she had had a spill. I came back and I've been here for like 5 weeks. And then I went back, did some recording, and I came back and I'm just I'm chilling with my mom. And,
nice.
Yeah, and she's doing great, man. She's walking again. I mean, she like busted her pelvis and shit.
Oh, wow.
It's like a lot of stuff, you know?
Wow. Heavy.
But, you know, I'm here and this is where like I hang. This is my deal, you know? So I'm here in my mama's basement, man. That's
And you've got new music out today, right?
Today, my brother. Yeah.
Yes.
A song called "I Pray" that I've had for a long time, and but I have a bunch of records, and I just was kind of waiting for a good time to put something out. And this Bon Jovi documentary's coming out and stuff like that. So it seemed like a little natural marketing kind of thing.
Yeah. So great. So like you mentioned, the Bon Jovi documentary is also out today. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to watch it tonight for sure.
No, you won't get the. It's 6 hours. It's a long thing, man.
Oh, I'm going to watch the whole goddamn thing tonight,
no,
Richie.
You won't.
I
You
promise.
will not do it. I promise you. Listen.
Well, okay. So I just thought we could kick off with that. There's the documentary. John's been very open about his vocal troubles. He's talking about that a lot. And at the same time, he's talking about like how he might not ever tour again. But at the same time, there's a consistent stream of rumors for a long time now that you might be rejoining the band. So where's everything at with that?
Look, you know what? I'd said for sure that I would join the band. And I can go back and play. And honestly, I mean, this sounds a little cheesy, but it's really not. Honestly, I go around the world, I haven't been in the band for like 10, 11 years now,
Sure.
And, but the feeling out there is still amazing, and basically I would go out there and have a good time with the fans and stuff like that. And there ain't no real, crap between me and John like that, but there, in any band, there's always going to be disagreements and stuff like that. And, this documentary though, I got to say that this is his baby. This is more of John's kind of perspective in his story. I didn't really play that much of a part of it. Personally, I would have rather celebrated the 40 years that we went out and the songs that we wrote together, just made a lot of people happy, and we made a lot of stadiums jump. Just like you guys, man. Wembley was, you've been to house band at Wembley. That's a good damn feeling, isn't it? Once in a while. You do 4 nights at Wembley Stadium, you're going, hey, I'm the house band at Wembley, man. That's like pretty heavy, that's a lot of fun. I know you had that place jumping a lot.
We tried our best.
I was there one night, trust me.
Oh, were you there one of those shows?
Oh, definitely. I came to see you guys.
I didn't realize that.
You guys were all stardom and everything,
Well, okay. So, I mean, how was it? I know, like you said, it's more John's point of view on his life and experience and career, but you did sit for interviews. So how was that whole experience sort of going through the past? Did it bring up like a bunch of memories that you'd forgotten about, good stuff, bad stuff? Like how was that for you?
Look, there's it's long, and I flew over his house, and we watched. I got through 3 parts of it, and I was there going, I'm not sure if this is actually like time-wise correct, and a lot of different things like that, And I was in Abbey Road working with some songwriters a year and a half ago, and they asked to come and do a little interview with me, and I was being kind of goofy and having a good time because I would probably be the only levity in the situation, But then and when I watched it, I went, well, this is not accurate. Maybe I'll have a chance to correct some perspective here, possibly, because, like I said, it is baby. I'm not, I wasn't really concerned about it, but they came and they shot some stuff at my house, and used most of it. So I'm still, not really in it that much, but they talk about me all the time. I am the,
Interesting.
Yeah, the only tension really that's going on there, but John really, he's talking about, his surgery. I mean, that was a crazy thing to do, man. I was like, don't do it personally, but it's like a plastic larynx. I'm going, I never even heard of that. So, and so I heard recently that he just said that, he wasn't going to be able to tour again and sing again like that. So I was ready to go, no problem. This will be a lot of fun. I got a lot of songs that I had even earmarked for that kind of, projection, but, it just didn't come to fruition because, he just couldn't sing yet. So I don't know how that works because I'm not an expert on plastic larynxes or something. I go, man, if it was me, I would go, no, don't do that. You know what I mean? Because I talked to my singing teacher about it because I still take lessons all the time, singing lessons and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Oh,
You
absolutely.
still work on your like singing craft.
Absolutely. Even from a solo standpoint. But also when you're touring for like the last tour I did was like 18 and a half months in 52 countries. Tour
Right.
before that was 16 and a half months in 40 something countries. And, between that, you get 2 weeks off and then I got to go to work and start writing the songs and then go in the studio and, be there the whole time and help produce the records and do things like that. So it was like a big mound. And we've been doing that since the inception of the band.
Right.
So it was timed like, especially he needed to take a break too, and he's finally going, yeah, I should have took a break. You should,
Right.
But I talked to my singing teacher, and believe it or not, it grows back, but you have to just stop singing and you have to stop talking sometimes for like 6 months, and then you have to do any kind of voodoo that you can voodoo so well, like Reiki and, any kind of new age kind of medicine and herbs. And he just went for the plastic thing. And I was like, oh, dude, that must suck. How you doing,
I think stopping talking is maybe the hardest thing for a lead singer to do.
You're right. But I was just in Hawaii before, like I said, before I got here, and I was doing a gig for Lahaina in Hawaii. I have a place up there too, and I used to see Dave in Hawaii like all the time. Him and his kids, and we just ended up at Easter break and Christmas.
I saw you there one time. I was there with my family, and I saw you. You were a couple tables away. I was like, "Holy shit, there's Richie."
Yeah, so I'm a Hawaii kind of guy, and I got a joint in Kauai, and it was me and Alice and Bob Rock and Steven Tyler and just a great bunch. Hi, Sammy and a bunch of guys got together, and we've been doing it for about 8 years. But this time it was very serious because Lahaina burned down.
Yeah,
terrible.
Yeah.
So we raised a lot of money, and Steven shows up, and Tyler and I know each other for like way, way long. We played on each other's records, and we know each other for a long time. And he busted a move with his throat where he was just. He's like, it was like all night. And then he was like, blood was coming out of his mouth. And so he had to stop. He shows up looking fine. And I said, don't you dare. And he just wants to get up there and do it and stuff like that. But he's taking care of himself and he ain't going for the plastic thing, So that's a good idea because it will grow back eventually. And, it's a muscle though, I mean, physiologically speaking, how does your brain connect to the plastic to learn how to, hey, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, good luck to him. I don't want to labor too much on that stuff. So let's get into your guitar playing, because not only are you a great singer, but you are a ripping guitar player, and we're focused today on one of my favorite guitar solos of yours, which is from the song "Only Lonely" off your guys' second record.
Wow, dude, you're just showing your age on that one.
Well, I saw you guys.
It was a long time ago, my brother.
It was. I saw you guys. I don't remember if it was your first record tour or the second record tour, but I saw you guys open for Rat at Irvine Meadows.
That's right, we did. That was a cool show, man.
Yeah.
Us and Rat. I meant me and Warren and Robin. The rest is, R.I.P. I mean, he was my brother, and Warren and I we jammed like all the time. That was a really fun time.
Put in the good word for me, because I've been trying to get Warren on the show since I started this thing.
Yeah, I've been talking to him a little bit.
He's elusive. He's elusive.
You know what? I think he's just a little shy, bro.
Well, Warren, if you're out there watching, please, we need you. We need you.
He's a little introverted. He's an amazing guitar player.
Oh man, he's one of my faves, man. I love him.
He's a badass.
Well, let's talk about 7,800 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's just set the stage for the people watching. This is Bon Jovi's. This is your guys' sophomore record. I imagine there's some sort of pressure, from the label and management and everybody to follow up on the success of the first record.
There wasn't much success on the first record either.
Oh, for real? Well, I mean, okay.
We went gold, which was like
right.
Yeah.
Well, still, for a first record, you want to build on that. You're probably trying to break into.
Gold means you owe the record company a lot of money.
Exactly.
For video.
Exactly.
You know what I'm talking about. But it was all right.
Can you tell the story of how the band kind of got together? Because that first record, there's the song Runaway, which was like the first single. And I know John didn't have a band yet, and that's not you guys on it. But then you guys formed the band in the wake of that, kind of getting some radio. Isn't there a whole like,
Well,
there's a whole story
that's interesting because it has to do with this house. Because at the time, you know, I already had a couple of record deals. When I was first here, I got signed. Led Zeppelin signed me to their Swan Song when I was like 19 and a half, which was like, yeah. Then, you know, they busted up the record, you know, and the record never came out. So then I had two other deals with a couple other bands. One was called Duke Williams and the Extremes on Capricorn Records. And I was with a guy by the name of Bruce Foster on Millennium. And I had my own stuff that I was doing. And my partner owned this house and we owned a club. And it was a big one. And John's then girlfriend became his wife, Dorothea. And it was doing very well, the club. And I was booking like Metallica and Anthrax and big bands. It was
really
pretty big. Yeah, man. And I played anytime I wanted. I always had a gig. And then I started my own independent record company and signed my friends and we started to work, right? And so Dorothea said, can John come in and do a thing on Saturday afternoons? I would run this juice bar for kids, new bands would come in. Because I had a real big stage and lights and nice PA and everything. And I would, you know, and I go, yeah, sure, you know. And actually, Kiss had asked me to join, so I left for LA.
Wait, what?
Yeah, man, I got that. Yeah, Gene asked me, and I was like,
is that public knowledge? I've never heard that before.
Oh, it's true. I'm telling you. Ask him. And
Wow.
Of course, I didn't get the gig. I was more of a blues guy than I was a, you know, like. I was,
yeah, but did you have your costume picked out and your makeup design?
You know, and I was like, hey, no, I don't know. But it was a lot of fun. And when I came back, you know, John was doing showcases, I was doing showcases, and we were kind of doing the same thing. And he called me and he said, you know, would you do the showcase with me? I'm doing this thing for Chrysalis. I go, let me guess, Jeff Aldridge, because I did it 2 weeks ago before for him also at Chrysalis, you know. And so we got together and we rehearsed and he said, you're hired. I go, nah, I'm not hired yet. I don't even know you, you know, kind of thing. I can't put my life on line, but I'll work with you for a while. I'll see what happens. So we started writing some songs and we got some leeway done. And that's how that got together. Yeah. But it was like, this house was like a part of the whole vibe, you know, because it was like, I lived in like this little house next to a swamp. I was still living with my mom and dad, and I couldn't make noise at night at all, you know. So when I was here, I could like play all night and write all night and make noise. So it was an awakening here for me.
And you jumped right into writing with Bon Jovi, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's part of the gig, isn't it? You know, so right. You know, and I was the lead singer in most of the bands that I was in. You know, and I didn't have lead singer disease. I didn't LSD. We all suffer from it. You know, but you guys don't, because you know they you know, it's one of those things. You know, that's all. It's fantastic.
Well, okay, so let's get into the day that you recorded the solo for Only Lonely. Who was in the studio with you? Do you remember the vibe? It was what Lance Quinn produced.
Philadelphia. Lance Quinn was producing it. And we are actually having a pretty hard time because Lance had overbooked himself with Lita Ford.
Oh,
and but you know we're still having a good time in Philadelphia, and yeah, you know, it was like I always hang in the control room. That's how I learned how to be a producer too. So I'm in there, and yeah, I do. I kind of orchestrated that solo. You know, I mean, it was 1986, at 4 or 5. I don't even, you know.
It was long. It sounds pretty well worked out. Like, are you like, what's your general approach when you go in to record a solo? Like, do you kind of have the basic idea before you get in there, or just wing it?
Nah, I try to. You know what? I try to let it hit me and kind of do it. And you know, I pride myself. Sometimes I'm a one taker. You know, which is like that's the best way because you know, but. Just from a philosophical standpoint of writing, I try to write melodies and parts that people will remember, and with a little bit of, you know, zazz in it, you know, obviously. And, you know, at the time, you got a bunch of big dogs like Van Halen and everybody and Eddie and doing their thing and stuff like that. So yeah, I kind of added a little bit of that and just yeah. But I really enjoyed that solo. I thought it was a pretty good piece.
I love that opening like pull off thing you do that. Very cool.
Yeah, come around. You want? Yeah, I'll go through it.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. I'm moving you over here for a second.
Hey, Richie, do you remember the combination of what guitar, amp, and any pedals that you used?
I definitely used, I think it was a Marshall 50-watt JCM, which is the wonderful thing. And, it's smooth as hell. I actually used I remember it was an overdrive, a Boss overdrive, the yellow one.
Okay.
Like, not the super overdrive, but the old one, like our buddy Jeff Beck. That's what he used all the time, too,
Yeah.
Rest his soul. But,
yeah. Hey, Richie, I got to tell you, this guitar that I'm playing today was totally inspired by you. I got the reverse headstock and everything.
Yeah, baby. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what's
Single
great?
pickup, Floyd Rose. What do you got there?
Yeah, this is a Charvel too. But you know what? When right before Slippery, my guitars got stolen, and I had a Les Paul and an Explorer and one Strat, and all our shit got stolen. Like before this tour, we're all excited, and we show up to rehearsal one day, gone.
Oh no!
And it was like, what? I said, well, I think it's really time to play some Stratocasters now. And, because I was more of a Les Gibson guy, and I still am, but on that particular thing. So I just, Warren actually introduced me to the cats at Charvel, and I just said, look, I want a slab of wood, no finish on the neck, real ease, and mine was just one pickup and a volume, no tone. That was it, and that was
same. It's a hot rod.
And then the Jeff Beck.
Oh, and I got a Jeff Beck in here, and it's a zebra just like that. Oh yeah,
going on, man.
Yeah.
But this one has a single coil up here, so then if you push it, it goes to that. Let me get a pick. Look at this thing I'm playing to, man. It's like check the sound of this stuff.
What is that?
You're not gonna believe it. What was that? Turn this fucker on.
Yeah, that was epic. Let's kind of take it section by section and break it down for the listeners at home. So show me how you're. I think I saw. Yeah.
So you're kind of peddling, like cross picking.
Yes.
That kind of
and
thing.
Then it goes into a nice little classic. I think of that first or that second lick there is like it's the classic Keith Richards band though.
Exactly. Right? It's like a freight train, baby.
Is your Floyd Rose blocked? Because when I do, mine isn't right now. It's just floating, and so when I do that, I bend it out of tune.
Yeah, mine's floating too, a little bit, not too much.
How do you finesse that to keep that second note in tune so it doesn't pull it?
I play with a little high action, so it kind of does it for me, My action is a little higher. People go, well, "What are you doing, man?" But I go, "Hey, I'm." When you're out there, after you play a couple shows, you get your fingers get stronger, everything gets stronger, so you can actually use the higher string gauge and keep it floating. So you got a little bit of up going on there too,
Yeah, so you're pulling up and down. Now, wait a minute. That reminds me a little bit, and I wanted to get to it, but see, you got to it. A little part in the Bad Medicine solo. Yep. I was wondering if you could. Yeah, how are you? Are you sort of just? I know you got your left hand over on the tremolo, but is there any science to what you're hitting with the right hand, or are you just going for it?
It's more of a bang.
Ah, okay, great. Yes.
So it's a downstroke on the pick. It bent.
Yeah. Okay, let's get back to Only Lonely real quick. I love that. I love that big overbend you do on that next part.
That's you know what I try to like really milk that high thing extra long and bend into it. That's a kind of like a Hendrix kind of Robin Trower, sexy.
Yeah.
Basically, and just coming off it on one hit, actually.
Now show me how you play that little repeating part that goes down.
All right, he goes. So it's basically working off a C minor with these chords here. It's actually, like, I was thinking of like a cello part.
Ah. I love how you go back and forth between like pentatonic and diatonic in this,
You know what? You make me sound so intelligent.
Well, that's what I'm here for, baby.
Thank you, brother.
Okay, so where do you fret the next part? And I was, in listening to the record, I couldn't quite tell if it was like 16 notes or 32nd notes, or like, are you going like...
It's like that, no, it's like that.
Ah.
Yeah, so I'm doing a little mute thing on the palm.
Do that once nice and slow for the viewers.
All right, here you go.
Yeah.
So then you're going to go up to, starting on a pentatonic from the C fret here.
Yeah. Dig it. Dig it.
Okay, I don't think it took me too many takes to do that. But maybe 3 or 4.
Right.
I think it was about. But I kind of, sometimes when I'm doing solos, I'm thinking very orchestrally. I make believe I'm a different instrument.
I
make believe I'm in a violin. I make believe I'm a sax. I make believe,
Sure.
That sounds like a bit of Tchaikovsky, for God's sake.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Like dramatic movie strings. Since you say that, I wonder, did you, at that time in the 80s, there was a lot of talk from guys like Yngwie Malmsteen, and Randy Rhoads, of course, everybody talked about how Randy had taken lots of classical lessons, and you heard that influence a lot in heavy metal and rock music at that time. Did you ever go down that path?
As far as what?
like woodshedding on the classical stuff and trying to kind of get like your Paganini licks into your guitar playing?
No, I mean, you know what? I was a theory guy. I took theory in school, and I learned backwards because I taught myself how to play. I have like a pretty good ear. If I hear something, I could basically, once I get the mechanism of an instrument, I was able to figure out. I played like sax, trumpet, all kinds of stuff in school. I believe it or not, I started out on accordion, right? It's a brutal instrument, man. I still play it. As a matter of fact, I played it on a lot of Bon Jovi. I played it on a lot of different records. Because check it out, man. You got, first of all, you got keys over here.
Yeah.
This bellow thing going on here. And then there's 120 buttons that you can play chords with in scales at the same time. So you're doing this and that. And the fucker is heavy too,
Right.
You know what I mean? and then you have to sing. So it's like doing 4 things at the same time. So it kind of like that, and I started that when I was like 7. And I was acing it, I'm like, playing like, Zorbita Greek and all this crazy, and I was a kid, the thing was bigger than me.
Well, what I'm hearing, Richie, is that you could have been the guy that brought the accordion into Kiss, were it not for just a couple, the missed opportunity right there.
You know what? I'm saying to myself, man, you don't get no girls playing accordion, I'll tell you that. So I had to convince my parents to let me sell the accordion and buy myself a guitar and an amplifier and stuff like that. And I started to teach myself when I was about 13 and a half. And then 6 months later, I was in a band playing school dances and block dances and battle of the bands and stuff like that. And with a bunch of older guys that were older than me. But once I figured out the mechanism, and the thing that I wanted to be able to do was improvise. Like Jimi Hendrix was a profound influence on me. And then, Allman Brothers and Eric Clapton and Cream, in that area. And then also the Beatles and the Stones. I mean, I grew up in the Renaissance of music. I mean, everything was just coming at you like, everything was good, man. It was like unbelievable. And Motown was coming. And, and the women like Carole King, the songs were just insane, so I was kind of putting it all together, and I kind of got good enough in about 6 months to be able actually to hold my own and go play with guys that were older than me. And they taught me a lot. And I could sing, and I could sing harmonies and stuff. We would hang, I swear, it's like a movie. Hang under the streetlight,
right? Singing doo-wop,
4-part harmony stuff. Doo-wop, yeah. Obviously, the guitar was, just wanted to be Hendrix, man.
Yeah. Don't we all? Don't we all?
Yeah.
Hey, that brings us to the end of the Only Lonely solo. But since we touched on Bad Medicine in the middle of that, can you demonstrate and teach me how you play that really blistering fast lick at the end of the Bad Medicine solo? It's like a really, I don't know exactly what it is, but something like, but like 100 times faster. Is that, am I in the ballpark with that?
I don't know. I think it's more like, I don't remember it. It starts, let's see. Right. Something like that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It was a long time ago. And then, I play it, I'm going to get close to it playing. And then when you do it like 3,000 times,
sure,
you're going to be like, you're going to play it a little differently and, give it a little bit of a bend. And hopefully, the band would give me 2 times around that sucker so I could like make some new shit up.
Yeah.
During it,
Of course, yeah. I mean, that was long ago, and you've played it many, many times since then, I'm sure. And I'm sure it's gone down all kinds of different roads. But that was fantastic. You're fantastic.
All right, so but you know what? The rhythm part of Bad Medicine was the interesting part, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I try to make all around the songs. I try to make the guitar parts so it's like.
Now, so you're kind of toggling on the power chord and then moving the. Yeah, that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah. It's like swingy.
Yeah, it almost when you just hear it with just you, it's Billy Gibbons-esque.
It's a little bit of Gibbons.
Little Gibbons in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And shit. ZZ Top.
Oh yeah.
It's all about the groove. At least if you get your fingers and your body to do what your mind hears, then you're starting to get around the instrument where what you think and what you feel in your art comes out. And then it's obviously an amalgamation of all your heroes. I mean, it just comes through naturally. It's not like you're stealing anything. It's like you just put all those great guitar players together and all those amazing songs, and somehow the parts. I was a huge Beatles fan and huge Stones fan, and their arrangement on their records was so amazing. When you really listen, I mean, the parts were very orchestral, no matter what.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, let's get into some fan questions, Richie. I got some questions from the people. Matthew Snyder, 77, wants to know: have you ever returned from a trip to Norm's and thought, "Holy shit, that escalated quickly"?
Every time I went to Norm's, I became a happy man. That's all I did.
No buyer's remorse.
I mean, I always had an amazing time with him, and he actually, he was the one who kind of ushered me into vintage instruments, and he kind of weaned me because I didn't have the money to buy like the good ones, and he would go, "Hey, this is a good reef in, or this one, the neck was broken, but it's a 1959 335, and I'm going, yeah, I'll take that for $1,000 or whatever that was, back then. And also my friend Rick in London, very, very, I mean, they just got me great instruments and always, took care of me and still do. And and there's Matt in Paris now has just opened up, and he's been wonderful. Found me a couple of Mary Kays, which is impossible.
Oh wow!
Yeah, how about this with rosewood necks? There's only 3 of them made.
Really?
I got 2 of them.
Really? Wow.
Pretty heavy.
Who's got the third?
Don't know. Probably Keith.
Right.
Keith's got a ton of Mary Kays. Keith's got like 3,000 guitars or something. That's crazy shit. Pierre knows what he's doing over there. Keith's got.
All right. Mauricio Albiero asks, is he using a new digital amp simulator on tour? If yes, which one?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
No amp simulators for you.
No amp simulators, no.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I've been using Friedman combos, really.
Yes.
Uh,
Combos.
and some, like, Marshall Plexi 50 watt. And I do have a Dumble.
Ooh.
I have a really nice Dumble. Alexander and I became friends, before he passed. And I used to go see him and sit with him all the time. Quite an eccentric cat, and he
Sure.
was, Jimi Hendrix's guitar tech.
Oh, really?
That's how he got. So, and, Jimmy wanted to run his stuff so hot
Yeah.
that Alexander was a tube head, and he was all about the output transformers within, and he would try like tubes from like a 1940 radio and different capacitors. And I mean, it was like, he was like one of those genius guys, and then before he died, it's like, how much for one head? 185 G's.
Whoa.
It takes 2 years to make because he makes them himself and he's all by himself.
Yeah.
And you're in line with, like, Carlos and Eric.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, that's a little pricey, number one. But so he would say, listen, I'm going to call the Fender Custom Shop and, let's get a couple of good twins for you and some smaller Fenders, and I'll mod them for you, for like $6,000 a piece or whatever they were. He really took care of me. So he got the most out of what, the output transformers, and what it did is really, really, his amps were great because they were so reactive to the, when you let up on it gets nice and clean, but it was like bell-like and loud and beautiful, so he had that like kind of cornered, when I was doing Stranger in His Town, my first solo album, Robin Ford lent me his Dumble for a couple of weeks, so I used it. I pulled off a couple solos on that thing, and it was nice. Creamy and smooth, it was one of those things. So that's when I got my first Dumble, which was an overdrive special that like Stevie Ray Vaughan was using at that point, those cats, and
do you take that thing on the road? Do you take your Dumble out on tour, or does that stay home in a vault?
I did a couple times, and that particular one, my first one, was a little too smooth for me, man. I needed it to be a little more. I needed to have more. I call stutch. Stutch is, for me, is when you get shunk. Like, Of course, I'm playing through like a little transistor right now, but I still got it.
Yeah.
It's in the hands a little bit too, obviously in the finger.
Yeah.
But Alexander's amps hit that output transformer properly with the tubes, and it's pretty extraordinary. I have an early one that I just happenstanced on. Somebody collector wanted to trade me for some of my guitars, and I was like, yeah, bring that sucker over here now. Because I played like Alexander's first amp that he made after Jimmy died, stuff in the early 70s, number one. Now this one is number 4. Yeah, it's sweet.
Wow.
I basically can't get away from it, All the stuff on the records I've been doing some bi-amping with, like, I love high watts, for love that, and and I still love Marshalls.
Sure.
And I use everything, like all the old Fender. I got Fender tweeds, I was lucky. I was hanging out when I was making my second record, Undiscovered Skull. I was working with Don Was. My record ran a little bit over, and the Stones started next to me, which was insane because I got a chance to be like, like to watch them record and do their thing, and to get to be kind of really friendly with them, And I played gigs and shit with them. You know what? It was amazing. And, you know, so I got to be friends with Pierre. So the Keith was buying there was somebody had 6 old 59 Super Twins, right? And Pierre goes, there's 6 of them. And Keith is buying 5. You want the other one? I went, and that was 1998.
Wow.
But I still have that. I use that all the time also. It's just a powerhouse of a clean amp, you know.
Very cool.
Put that with the Mary Kay.
Oh, they're made for each other. Terrifying. All right, one last question for you, Richie. And this is from Gavin Miller. And he asks, this is a tough one, is his love really like bad medicine?
What do you mean, my girlfriend?
No.
Because that's what it's about, you know. No, listen, of course, I swear to God, this is the truth. That I had a girl that was we were like oil and water. She was a 12 as far as 10s go, you know, and the chemistry was crazy, you know, but it was just, whoa. And we were doing a commercial in Japan for Fuji tape. And yeah, it's kind of goofy. We're standing in black water up to our knees. And me and my old lady, we were, you know, duking it over the phone, really. She wasn't there. But all of a sudden I went, your love is like bad medicine. Bad medicine is what I need. Whoa, whoa, shake it up. Right, you know. And John just looked at me and said, don't forget that. I said, I don't think you're going to forget it either. I said, this, you know. And it was a very important song because after Slippery, you know, you're sitting there going, well, damn, you know, we just sold 17.5 million records in the year. We came from shit to Shinola, you know what I mean? It was like, whoa, you know. So, you know, we had to go to work on the writing thing, and we hadn't started yet, but that just came out of my face, just like that. And then John and Desmond and I took about 3 days and worked up the verse and the B section, and that's it, you know. But what was the bad? Do I love bad medicine? I do love that.
Forget it. Your answer was better than the question.
What was the question? Just to go.
He said, "Is your love really like bad medicine?" He's trying to be funny.
No,
you know?
no. I'm a gentleman. I treat women very, very well.
Of course.
I really do.
Of course.
Yeah,
Richie, you've been fantastic today. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you for taking the time, coming from your mother's basement. I love it. Subterranean,
baby.
Yeah.
Tell the boys I said ho, and congratulations on all your success, and keep going.
Thanks, brother.
Because you know what? Ain't a lot of us doing that anymore like that. And actually, really real people playing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, come out to a show again. You got to come out to a show again.
Hey, listen, I live right around the corner from your studio. I was in your studio, you know. My boy is Oliver too, you know.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, since he's
yeah. Awesome, buddy. Great to see you.
You too, brother.
All right, that was Richie Sambora on Shred with Shifty. So great, so much fun talking to him today. I feel like we covered a lot of ground. That was fantastic. We even stuck in a little bad medicine, so there you go. A little treat. Like I said in the intro, this is it for a minute, but we will be back before too long for season 2, and we're already working on some great interviews for that. So adios, amigos. 1, 2, 3. Shred with Shifty is created and hosted by me, Chris Shiflett, and produced in partnership with Double Elvis, Volume.com, and Premier Guitar. If you're digging the show, make sure you hit that follow or subscribe button so you get our new episodes when they come out every other week. Shred with Shifty is produced by Jason Shadrick. Our executive producers are Brady Sadler and Jake Brennan for Double Elvis. Engineering support by Matt Tahaney and Matt Bowden. Our video editors are Dan DeStefano and Addison Savan. Special thanks to Chris Peterson, Greg Necron, and the entire Volume.com crew. Adios, amigos.